Welcome to Lesson 1 on playing the oboe. The first thing that we need to learn to do is to put the oboe together. So let's talk about the different parts of an oboe first. We have the bell of the instrument. It goes on the bottom. We have the middle or bottom joint of the oboe. We have the top joint of the oboe. It goes at the top. And we have the reed. Okay. When we're putting our instrument together, we want to start at the bottom, just like I just did. I'm going to take the bottom joint and remove the cork cap here. Now these are important. Don't lose these if you can help it. They protect the cork while it's in the case and keeps the cork from drying out. It also protects your case from getting dirty from the cork. So I'll set my cap aside and pick up the bell. You'll see that there's a little cup here at the top of the bell that's just perfectly the same size as the tenon cork right here. So we're going to put those together, and as I do some twisting motions and pushing together, I want to be very careful. If your instrument has key work on the bell, like this one, there's going to be a little bridge here that connects between the two pieces. And I want to be very careful about easing the instrument over to line those pieces up, just like that. If your oboe has the big key here, but not this little one, you're going to actually want to hold that key closed with your thumb as you do this. That's the only way that the bridges will line up with each other without bumping into each other. There's a little piece of cork under here, and if you're not careful, you can scrape that right off, and that's going to throw off the adjustment of your instrument. All right. Now, you'll notice that I'm holding the bell here, and with my left hand, I'm holding onto the oboe, the bottom joint, right around where the main keys are here, but I'm keeping as loose a grip as I can. I don't want to drop the instrument, but I don't want to squeeze the instrument either, because you run the risk of bending some of these keys. So just keep a nice medium firm grip as you're manipulating the joints of the oboe. Okay, so here is the top joint now, and we're going to line this up exactly the same way, and just with little twisting motions get those pieces together. Now we have two bridges on this linkage between the top and the bottom joint. So I want to be very careful that I'm watching those as I come in together and line them up. It's if you find that your two bridges don't line up together, if you can line one of them up but the other one is a little off, always line up the one on this side of the instrument. If you're looking at the oboe this way, it's over here, okay, near, like underneath your right hand if you're in playing position. This bridge is the most important one. This one over here just does one little trick when we're trilling, and it's not as important as this one here. All right, so I've got everything nicely lined up. It looks like I'm ready to play, except I need a reed in order to make a sound on this instrument. So we'll talk later about taking care of reeds, but they're very fragile, and of course you've probably already found out they're kind of expensive too. So we want to make sure that we're very careful with this. I keep my reeds in a nice case that holds onto them very well, and there's nothing touching the actual cane, the wood part of the reed, in my case. You don't want to use a tube kind of a container that a lot of reeds are sold in, or the little plastic coffin-like snap-closed, little containers that reeds are sold in. Those are great for shipping reeds, but not good for keeping them in. You want to go ahead and buy a reed case that'll hold your reeds nicely and securely. So the reed is an extension. Remember we talked about the bore of the oboe? Well, at the top the bore is very, very small. The reed is an extension of the bore. It's very tiny here. At the end it's round shaped, just like the top of the instrument down there is round. As it comes up, it transforms into an oval shape at the top of the staple is what it's called, this little metal tube, and that's what ends up then turning into the wood or cane part here, and which has a nice flat shape. So you want to line up that flat shape with the way your mouth is going to be. The round part goes right here. You're going to want to push it all the way down until it can't go anymore. Because of that bore, the inside shape of the instrument, if we were to pull out on the reed, let's say our band director or instructor has told us that we're playing a little on the sharp side and we should pull out. That works for most band instruments, but it doesn't work for the oboe, unfortunately. If you try that trick, pulling out on the reed, you're going to leave a gap inside the oboe between the bottom of the reed and the top of the oboe bore. And because of the shape of our bore, the air, which goes down in sort of a tornado kind of spiral pattern through the oboe, it'll get stuck in that gap. And you'll feel some back pressure and notes won't work very well. It can cause a real problem on the oboe. So just kindly explain to whoever has told you to pull out that it's not really a good idea on the oboe, and then that's why. Okay, so push it in all the way. And we'll talk in future lessons about what to do if you do have an issue with pitch. There are ways to correct that on the oboe, but that's not one of them. So there, the reed is in the oboe, and it's nicely lined up with my mouth. If it's crooked, I'm going to have to do something strange to play, and I don't want that, so line it up. And there is your assembled oboe.